Getty China is set to scrap its population restriction. Polish's population control policies were introduced in 1979, essentially limiting families to having a single child, but the rule was always seen as human rights abuse. Fertility rates have now dropped to an average 1.62 babies per woman, one of the lowest in Asia and below the rate of 2.1 required to keep most populations growing. The trend has left the number of pensioners outpacing younger generations in a country which is home to 1.38 billion people, almost a fifth of the world's population. It's not a matter that can be simply decided by a government order for more children or fewer. Liang Zongtang, the Chinese State Council, commissioned a study on the consequences of ending the policy and plans to recommend the removal of all limits on how many children a couple can have. Demographer Liang Zongtang said the authorities had signaled the rethink after restructuring the agency in charge of enforcing the restrictions in March. He said, "I don't think our government will make a fuss about abolishing the birth planning policy. It will just go away. The matter simply will not be brought up anymore. The birth rate will continue to decline. It's not a matter that can be simply decided by a government order for more children or fewer, but the abolition of the birth policy will give the public the freedom of their reproductive rights." Ghetto families used to face draconian measures for defying the one-child rule. Enforcement of the policy had become increasingly rare, with expectant parents needing only to register with their neighborhood committees to receive prenatal care and child services. In the past, restrictions were draconian. Couples had to submit paperwork to demonstrate their eligibility before getting a permit to get pregnant. The birth planning policy was introduced in 1979 by Deng Xiaoping, who argued that the country was too poor to feed its rapidly growing population. Most urban couples were limited to one child, and rural couples could have two if the first was a girl. Getty officials now fear the birth rate could drop to crisis levels to meet fertility rate targets. Local officials sometimes took extreme measures, such as forcing women to have abortions or be sterilized. City dwellers who broke the law risked losing their jobs, and rural families had their homes torn down for having illegal children. They faced heavy fines, and their children could be denied public education and health care. The policies provoked criticism, but the ruling party argued that the controls improved human rights by reducing poverty. But the recent decline in birth rate has created a new set of demographic challenges, including caring for an aging population and ensuring that there is adequate labor to meet the demands of the fast-growing economy.